Let's take a couple of phone calls. The movie is called Expendables. It's the #1 film in America right now. Sylvester Stallone has done it again. I mean, what a career. Do you think you'll get, like, Lifetime Achievement Awards and stuff at the Academy Awards? I mean, how many...
No, come on, they've got to.
Now, Robin, I'm telling you.
Why don't you get the respect?
I'm still, believe it or not, I'm kind of an outsider.
Yeah,
I think that people see me, like, politically as, right-wing and...
Are you right-wing? How do you feel about that mosque at Ground Zero? You think they should be allowed to build it?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not, right? Me too.
Absolutely not.
Did a lot of studios say to you, there's no way we're making this movie?
Everyone. I couldn't believe that, especially MGM, because I wanted to go there. There was one fellow there, his name was Eric Lomas. He's head of distribution. He wanted to film very badly, but they went over to another woman named Mary Parent, who had come over from Universal to run the studio, and they said, we don't see it, we don't feel it. And I go, well, Rocky was the last film I did there, Rocky Balboa. It made money, and the thing here was going to be as a conservative budget. I think you can't, I think you could, at the worst case, you could break even. They said, no way. So we went with Avi Lerner, who was, last of the really big independent producer who took a real gamble. I mean, really a big gamble. This is a guy that, primarily makes very, very low-budget films.
So it had to be depressing for you that here you are, a guy who's, won the Academy Award. You've written, I don't know, if you add up all the money between Rocky, Rambo, and all the other stuff you've done.
Right. Yeah, you've made Hollywood a ton.
You've made Hollywood several $billion. I mean, this had to be very depressing to you that you could not get the Expendables made, right?
It does, yeah, it does.
Did you start to feel as if Hollywood had turned its back on you? Were you kind of like when you're how many years does it take you to write this script?
Hollywood does turn its back on you, but, it's just a matter of evolution. I don't take it personally. Well, I do take it a little bit personally, but I understand the nature of the beast. Actors are very much like horses, and the studios and the other ancillary, like agents and managers, whatever, they have a job to do. What their job is, you ride the talent until their legs go like a horse, and they just put the saddle on the next one.
Well, you're right, and in fact, you've learned, you're teaching an important lesson that an actor, if they want to work, they better come up with their own projects. I mean, the fact that you write these things is the key, because...
No question.
I mean, that's the key. I mean, where the hell would you be if you don't write these things?
Oh, no, an actor is the most dispensable component, I think, of a film today. No question about it. In the 80s and 90s, it was just the opposite, Howard. You could sit there and greenlight Cobra with a script that was half-baked, or, Arnold would do Commando with a snap of his fingers. Not today. No way.
You know what's crazy, too? You're now, because you just wrote The Expendables and it's the #1 movie, you beat that for Fakta, Eat, Pray, Love.
I didn't think we were, by the way.
You were probably nervous, right?
Oh, yeah. But, it's a huge... Robin, what's it sell? Like 8 million copies? 8, 7?
Big book. And it's a woman's book. So you're telling me on the weekend, last weekend, when this movie of yours is coming out, you're sitting there biting your nails, right?
Well, yeah, because for the majority of Friday until like 10 o'clock at night, they were 40 to 50% ahead.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. We were, and you could have the studio heads were calling me going, usually women just go to matinees. They don't go out late at night. Don't worry. I think it's okay. Yeah, we'll catch them in the long run. But I could tell they were...
Nervous?
They were very nervous.
What happens with that? In other words, your movie's coming out, and they immediately on Friday night, they get the numbers back. And who calls you to tell you you're being beaten by Eat, Pray, Love at first? I mean...
Well,
who's the scumbag that wants to bum you out on a Friday night?
No. It's kind of like you would have maybe the step 2 or 3, let's say the personnel and the hierarchy, like the second or third in command would call you, and then eventually, when it's starting to get really desperate, the president will call you and go, hang in there. I said, I've been here before. It's in, there's nothing you can do about it. I believe if you've done everything possible in the way of promoting the film, it's just up to the fans. And the honest thing is, it's something that I don't care how good the commercials are, because I've seen brilliant. I mean, Eat, Pray, Love. They had 3 times the budget we had.
Right.
It's just something that connects with the audience. I don't know. I've had it a couple times in my life, and I've had the majority of, you have misses. You think that a perfect formula is going to work, like everything is blogging your way like snakes on a plane. You think everyone's going to go to it, and they don't go.
So Friday night...
Scott Pilgrim had a better with tracking than we did.
So Friday night,
yeah,
they were beating you.
Oh, big time.
And you're bumming out because why is it so important to have the number one movie? It just because it adds to the momentum, right?
Yeah, it's big time.
Big time.
It's big time because it would also. There was a rallying point here. There was a there was a line of demarcation drawn. Like, here's a very liberal, woman's, thoughtful, deep film. On the other side was Scott Pilgrim, which represent a lot of technology, and both these are based on books. And then you had this kind of like throwback Neanderthal,
right? Action film
of these knuckle draggers, they're just tough guys,
right?
And as simplistic as you can get. And it was like, oh no, we're not going to let the past catch up to the future. We're not going to have this. We got rid of these guys once. We put a spike in their heart in the 90s. That's the end of them.
Come back.
Right, and then Saturday, you get the call, and they say Eat, Pray, Love is still winning, or the tide was turning?
Well, I didn't want to answer the phone on Saturday morning. I said, I don't want to deal with this.
You were depressed?
Oh, yeah, big time. Because it's the whole Rocky thing Rocky Balboa took 7 years to do, and it was a lot of ass kissing, no question about it. I mean, because I kept thinking, I don't know if you're like me, had this way. I keep thinking about the big picture and what you have to do to get there. Then we finally got there. I said, then Rambo, and that was tough. And then finally get to this point and go, okay, finally, one time I just wanted to go out with a little dignity and something retro and special. And I go, bang, we really are not going to make it. Damn, we came this far. It was a lot of struggle in the film.
So Saturday night, somebody gets a hold of you and says, we are still not beating Eat, Pray, Love.
No, it was actually noon. So the phone hasn't rung by noon. I went, oh, man, no one wants to call.
You're ready to leave town.
Right. Then around 2 in the afternoon, and I'm sitting there, do I call, do I ask? I don't want to know. I think it's great just to be ignorant and not know the truth.
Right.
I'm in total denial. I'm doing like the ostrich with the head in the sand. Then finally around 2:15, phone rings, and my associate Kevin King goes, we beat the woman. We beat them. We done it. We did it.